Just over a week left till Michigan at Minnesota. I want to know from you guys, how long have you been a Michigan football fan? If you want to name the year, name the season, go ahead and do that down in the comments. Or if you don't remember necessarily which season it was, if there's a memory you have with a family member, a dad, an uncle, a brother, or a certain Michigan player that made you follow the team, comment below. This got a ton of traction on a video last week. I want to make sure anybody who missed that video, the opportunity to tell the rest of the Michigan football fans out there why the program means something to you. Go down and comment. We've got the Michigan football offensive depth chart coming up for you right now. It is the quarterback position, which is not much of a mystery anymore, except for that question mark, the mysterious third man on the quarterback depth chart. We don't know. I don't think if they even get to that point, it'll be someone who can even get Michigan into the red zone at any point throughout the season. Cade McNamara, we still don't know really anything about him. And what do we really know about Joe Milton? But Joe Milton will be your starter against Minnesota. I don't think there's any question in my mind there. Now, if he doesn't play well, if he struggles the first couple games, maybe Cade McNamara, the redshirt freshman, gets an opportunity. Dylan McCaffrey, we say will transfer on there because he is still in school, still a student of Michigan, hoping to graduate in December. And I've said on previous videos, makes no sense to me why he's not at least playing this year, because it does not take away from any eligibility. And given that he's graduating in December, he could actually transfer anywhere he wants after the season, still have 2 years to play anywhere else, not having to sit out. So the question, with Joe Milton being the quarterback, how many passing yards will he have against Minnesota? The last couple starting quarterbacks for Michigan that of note, Shea Patterson a little over 200 against Notre Dame in 2018. Go back to 2015. Jake Rudock had something like 270 against Utah. Both of those on the road, both of those against, Utah wasn't ranked. They became ranked the next week. Got up to number 5 or 6 in the country that year. Both those guys in losing efforts on the road against Power 5 teams. Hopefully Joe Milton can break that streak. Answer below. Want to see what you guys think. I think some people are throwing out there 350 yards. You're out of your mind. I think the over-under, in my opinion, is like 185. Next up is the running back position for the Wolverines. And I've flip-flopped a little bit on this all offseason, but given the information we've got out there, given who the coaches have spoken about in their limited press conferences, I feel that Zach Charbonnet is going to get the starting nod, but I don't think it's going to be a solo starting job or one-man show. I think he'll still rotate in snaps with Hassan Haskins, and the most proven commodity out of these guys is Chris Evans, but he's been off football for over a year. Expect freshman Blake Corum to see the field, but don't expect him to make a huge impact this year, especially not with 3 veteran players, guys who have gotten plenty of snaps, a sophomore in Charbonnet, a redshirt sophomore in Haskins, and then a 5th-year senior in Chris Evans. Now, one thing to note there, Christian Turner opted out. I thought that kind of was indicating he's done with Michigan. He's going to transfer, not really ever going to see the field, in my opinion, but he will now opt back in. He's part of the team in the 2020 season. We got nostalgic to start the show, talking about how long you've been a fan. If you've been a fan for 20 years, all of these 3 guys on screen are going to bring back some very positive memories for you. But who is the best running back since 2000 for Michigan? I'll make my case for each really quick. Mike Hart, 4-year starter, came in as a freshman, 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns, I think, rushing, and then had 2 injured seasons in 05 and 07, kind of missed a few games each one. His best season, the 2006 season, led Michigan to a number 2 ranking, 11-0 start, lost that 1-2 game against Ohio State. Anthony Thomas, the man that Mike Hart broke his career rushing record. Those guys are 1-2 on the Michigan all-time rushing mark. He was a 3.5-year starter, had 2 big seasons in 99 and 2000, and then one offensive rookie of the year in the NFL with the Chicago Bears. Chris Perry, more of a 1-year wonder, but did win the Doak Walker and was a first-team All-American at running back in the 2003 season. So go down there in the comments, MH for Mike Hart, AT for Anthony Thomas, CP for Chris Perry. I'm going to give it to Mike Hart. I want to make sure you guys know to subscribe to the channel. We are 230 subscribers away from the goal to keep this not becoming the Maryland Football Report. All they got to do is spray paint the background, the M from maize and blue to red and some crazy yellow with a weird Maryland flag. I got some people chomping at the bit to take over this channel and bring you Maryland news. So get us 230 more subscribers by the 24th, about 9.5 days away. Go ahead and do it now. Free as long as we get to 8,000 subscribers. So don't watch this and not subscribe. Let's take over to wide receivers. 4 names that everybody knows about, but if you saw my video on Tuesday, you would notice that Cornelius Johnson is the big change. We had it as a 3 wide receiver set. We've talked about wide receiver depth charts in the past. Now I've got Cornelius Johnson as the outside wide receiver number 2 with Ronnie Bell as the wide receiver number 1. I think some of the more talented guys, more of the talent's actually on the inside. Giles Jackson, Mike Sainristil, A.J. Henning will back those guys up. Michigan's going to go in a 4 wide receiver set, 1 running back as their base set the majority of the time. That doesn't mean that they're not going to play tight end. That doesn't mean they're not even have 2 tight ends, but this is the lineup that I consider starters. 4 running backs, or 4 wide receivers, and 1 running back for this offense in 2020. You see the 4 starters there. Who is going to lead this team in receiving? Let's just call it a leading receiver, right? You can call it receiving yards. You can call it receptions. However you define it. RB for Ronnie Bell, GJ for Giles Jackson, MS for Mike Sainristil, and a name that not too many Michigan fans are probably overly familiar with, Cornelius Johnson. Go ahead and type CJ. I think it's going to be Giles Jackson, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Tight end. A position much like fullback that will continue to be diminished in importance in Michigan's program as long as Josh Gattis is the offensive coordinator, as long as Jim Harbaugh wants to switch from a pro-style offense. Nick Eubanks has been around for a long time. Hell, he scored a touchdown against Florida in the opener three full years ago, I guess 4 seasons in 2017, but he's still around as a 5th-year senior. Eric All will be his backup, and Luke Schoonmaker, who had some impact last year, got a few catches in some critical times, actually, will be your tight end 3. One thing to note, you've got quite a few other tight ends. Michigan is certainly not shied away from recruiting tight ends, even though the offense has shied away from, I guess, playing them. One thing to note in the tight ends, we all know Mustafa Muhammad was probably the biggest recruit out of guys who should be on the roster. He will no longer be a member of the Michigan football team. He transferred out, and I think he landed up at Houston. So those are your tight ends. We will see what they play, see what their contribution is with this offense. But as far as I'm concerned, the tight end, so much like the fullback and Ben Mason last year, is not a starting position on this roster. But I want to know from you guys. We're just a little over a week to this delayed season. Predict the score, Michigan at Minnesota. If you missed it, it's going to be the primetime ABC. I think the best slot of any college football game in America on any given week. It's that primetime ABC game, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Michigan at Minnesota. Predict the score down in the comments. And if you want to predict score, you're going to like this next advertiser we've got going on. BetUS is our official sportsbook partner for the 2020 Michigan football season. They're not only giving you the 125% deposit bonus. Make it simple for you. Put down 100, you get a 125% deposit bonus. You have an extra 125 sitting in your account. You put in 200 first deposit, an extra 250. But we've got an extra special for you. Chatsports.com/GoBlues, the URL. When you deposit, use that promo code GoBlue, and then email us, goblue@chatsports.com. We're making it super simple for you guys. It's all GoBlues. We'll get your account number, we'll get your size, your information, and we will ship you a Jordan Brand Michigan football jersey, much like the one you see in the picture. So go get started with BetUS. Chatsports.com/GoBlue. When you make your first deposit, use that promo code GoBlue, deposit $100 or more. Email us, goblue@chatsports.com. We'll get your information, get you confirmed, and ship you off a Michigan football jersey. The deal ends the moment the kickoff happens, Michigan at Minnesota next Saturday night. Finishing it off with the offensive line. I put out my offensive line depth chart about a week ago. No real surprises over the last month, 2 months, but Zach Carpenter, the sophomore, I think some people had pegged for the starting center. Andrew Vastardis, 5th-year senior, really a former walk-on, has been on scholarship for a year or two, but former walk-on will be your starter at center. But the rest of the guys are known names. Ryan Hayes started 2 games last year. Chuck Filiaga, I feel like he's been around at Michigan since about 2004, but surprisingly, he's only a redshirt junior. And then Andrew Stuber was slated to be a starting tackle, actually beat out Jalen Mayfield in preseason last year, then had a devastating injury. He's sliding over to right guard now that Mayfield's opted back in. He will stay on the right side and your right tackle. Some backups, Joel Hongaford, Trevor Keegan, Zach Carpenter, Zach Zinter, and Carson Barnhart, a little true freshman there with Zinter making the 2 deep. So that is your offensive line depth chart, your full Michigan football offensive depth chart, and this is the Michigan Football Report. You watched the show. You made it this far, as the people say. So hit subscribe, damn it. Hit the freaking button. Just hit subscribe. You won't regret it. And while you're here, you got nothing better to do. Watch some more Michigan Football Report videos here and here. See you next week for the Michigan game. Go Blue.